web. To spell snowgang. Ça va bien merci et toi, comme si comme ça. Welcome back, Snowgang, to the French and Business Review. I know this was promised yesterday. I know 3 videos were promised yesterday, and the third one didn't happen. You got a short. You got 2 videos. So today you're gonna get 2 videos. No short. But I didn't promise a short, so it's fine. So, I'm going to talk to you today about the French exam, and then we're going to move on to some notes that the business people have delivered to me, because I myself did not take business. So, because it's not fresh in my mind, but I still have a few thoughts on it. I definitely feel as though the reading was much easier than the listening exam. I think it was honestly quite a breeze. Obviously, that question 9, answering questions in French, I've never been incredibly good at that, but realistically, all you gotta do is just find the right bit in the text, and you should be fine. Was able to answer all the questions very swiftly. Spend most of the reading time not doing too much of the actual paper, to be honest, kind of just relaxing, because an hour to do something you can do in about 20 minutes and still get a good grade is pretty wild. But nevertheless, pretty good paper. I would rate the reading on its own I'd say an 8 out of 10. I think it's the best one so far. Then we moved to the listening, and like all listening papers, the recording wasn't the best. Despite the fact that they had placed us in classrooms rather than the big hall, so it was less echoey, it still wasn't the greatest. But my own fault really comes when I didn't notice that question 1 and 2 had started, because as you know, those who did French GCSE would know that you have the question, the extract read to you, then a beep, and then it's read again, then 2 beeps. I thought they were still reading the question for some reason. So when I heard the first beep, I was in shock and awe. And I realised I had to log in, and I answered all the ones on question 1. It then happened again on question 2, and I realised I'm being stupid. So I logged in, and I answered every other question on that paper. I will admit, I think around question 7 I had to guess a couple. Didn't quite catch them, but I think it was alright overall. I would rate listening on its own a 7 out of 10. Overall, I would have to give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. So similar to the biology paper, I believe, or probably the RE paper. If that's right, if I rated the RE paper higher than biology, that was a mistake. My apologies. It should be that RE is 7, biology 7.5. But I do think biology overall was just slightly better, so possibly like 7.51, 7.50. But yeah, I think overall, Edexcel didn't sell. I'm kind of shocked, actually. And now, this does worry me, because there was a couple theories going around that Edexcel and AQA working together, that AQA would give us some easy papers for English and science and whatever else, and then Edexcel would give us some absolutely trash papers for maths and history and whatnot. That wasn't the case. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the new theory is this. Paper 2s this year will be the death of all of us. Me, you, anyone else you know, my friends, your friends, everyone. That is the theory. Now, the evidence to back that up is simply theoretical, hypothetical. We're just basing on the assumption that an easy English Lit paper 1 will mean tissue on English Lit paper 2. But that doesn't have to be the case realistically. They could still give us a memory question and give us Poppy or something, and then allow us to link it to Remains, the easiest poem in the entire Power and Conflict selection. Or we could be right, and they could give us tissue. And the math paper tomorrow, as well as the math paper tomorrow could be a breeze, as non-calculated papers for me personally normally are. But then the RE paper tomorrow could be the worst paper yet. It could cause many people to be denied access into the RE A-level. So, say your prayers, am I right? RE paper 2 will be the test, the grand opening. If RE paper 2 is a messed up paper, this theory is correct, and I am 95% sure we shall receive tissue as the name's poem. But let's not start worrying, okay? RE paper 2 is still yet to come. We still have a amount of time before it arrives. So 17 hours. 16 hours and 45 minutes as of me recording this until the RE paper 2 begins, roughly. We should be okay, I reckon. And if we're not, what the hell are they doing? But walking home today with my good friend, we did have an interesting discussion. What if, and hear me out on this, the math papers are incredibly dreadful? What if, at Excel? I spent some time thinking on that walk home, and I realised that it's very possible that they make one of the most, if not the most useful paper, the hardest one. Everyone knows that English, maths and science are the most core subjects. So it would make sense, right, to have at least one of them be hard. But if all the sciences are anything like the biology paper 1, and if the rest of English runs the same as English lit paper 1, it must be maths. Of course, we haven't done any other English and science papers. But if maths is hard and chemistry is easy, I believe that theory is correct. And if maths is hard and RE paper 2 is hard, I believe the two theories have conjoined, and paper 2, as well as all math papers, will be cooked. That does beg the question, what of the paper 3s of the world? We all know that subjects like history and maths have 3 papers. So what of the paper 3? I mean, are they going to be ridiculously hard? Are they going to be incredibly easy? Or will they be just right, just in the middle? Guess we're going to have to wait to find out. Snow Gang, Caleb, signing out. Oh yeah, and yesterday, special shout out to Jack T for helping out with the videos. See you later, Snow Gang. And now, as promised earlier, I shall read some reviews on the business test. One lucky customer said, light work. The test was light work. Very, very light work. I've written it in all caps here because he shouted it at me down the phone. Another one said, very, very easy. The 12 marker was quite weird. Another one said, a sugar honey iced tea bag. Didn't go well for that fella. Another lucky customer said, pretty easy. The 12 marker was quite weird. A lot of weirdness going on with the 12 marker. And finally, we have this fine fellow who said, and I quote, exploded all over my paper. So, on that note, Snow Gang, I've been Caleb, this is me, signing out, adios.